Okay, we're going to start a brand new chapter today, chapter 22, and it's pretty exciting. We've been doing multiplication and now we're going to start division. So today is April 28th in the year 2020, and our chapter today is chapter 22, and we're going to do a little introduction to the topic of division. So go ahead and get your pages ready, page 427 and 428. We're just going to look at some terms and some vocabulary to get us ready for division. Okay, so one of the things that we've been talking about a lot when we were talking about multiplication is equal groups. You remember how I really harped on that a lot. So the reason for that, or one of the reasons for that, is because when we're doing division, equal groups are really important. And here's why. It says here are some vocabulary words you'll learn in this chapter. Divide. So when you are dividing, you're taking a larger number and you're going to separate it into, guess what? Equal groups. So the more you become familiar with multiplication, meaning the more you've memorized your times tables, the easier division is going to be. Because as soon as I say 12 divided by 4, you're going to think, oh yeah, that's right. 4 times 3 is 12. Because when I want to split 12 into 4 equal groups, I'm going to have 3 in each group. So that's just a little hint that you should be really working on memorizing those timetables and getting them to the point where they become automatic. So when I say 12 and I say 4, you say 3. It's a fact family. So right here is another one. We see 8 ants. And they've taken those 8 ants and they've split them into 4 equal groups. So when you divide, you separate a group or the number 8 into smaller equal groups. So right here, 8 ants, you can divide it into equal groups, 4 equal groups, and you're going to end up with 2 ants in each group. So the math division problem is going to look like this. 8 divided by 4 equals 2. So if you notice that divided by symbol, it kind of almost looks like a fraction because it has a division symbol and then it has a dot on the top and a dot on the bottom. So this is our final operation that we're going to be learning about. We know that division is going to be the opposite of multiplication in the same way that subtraction is the opposite of addition. So we'll come back to that again, but for right now, this math sentence, number sentence, would look like that. Okay? And that leads us to our next vocab word, which is division sentence. A division sentence is a number sentence using division. So in this one, it's a little bit different problem. It says the number is 10, and we're going to divide that by 2. So we're splitting up the larger number, which is 10, and we're splitting it into 2 equal groups. So when you have 10 divided by 2, how many are going to be in each group? 5. So 10 divided by 2 equals 5. Now, last but not least, you're going to have a very important word. It will come up a lot, especially in 3rd grade, is the word remainder. Because sometimes when you divide up a larger number, you're going to have leftovers. So right here, they took the number 9 and they decided they wanted to split it into 4 equal groups. So when you take 9 ladybugs, we'll get the owl out of there. You have 9 ladybugs, and you split it into 4 equal groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to find out that you have 2 ladybugs in each group. But one poor ladybug is outside of the group because it's the leftover. And what we call that the remainder. And it's the remainder because it's what remains after we've split things into equal groups. Now, a remainder can be any different number. It doesn't have to be a 1. It can be a 2 or a 3. It just really depends on what number you're dividing. Okay, so then they have the number sentence right here. You can divide 9 into 4 groups of 2 with 1 left over. 9 divided by 2 equals 4, remainder 1. Now, when they ask you to write that in 3rd grade, you're going to write that like this. 9 divided by 2 equals, and your answer is 4, but it's not just 4. You're going to write a capital R for remainder, and then you're going to put 1. So your answer is 4, remainder 1. Okay? So let's look at the next slide. The next slide is just introduction. It's going to kind of be a reminder about what you already know. Before you go on to that next slide, though, these are 2 videos, really good videos that explain about division. So this one is pretty short. It's division vocabulary. It talks about what each number is called in a division problem. And this one is Brain Pop. It's a little bit longer. I think it's 8 minutes or so. Oftentimes with Brain Pop, I skip the beginning, but it has a lot of good information about division and how to use division and why we study it. So let's move on to the next slide. Chapter 22, Division Introduction, pages 427, 428. Okay, so this side over here on page 428 is just kind of review about what you already know. And so it's doing some number patterns. We're counting backwards by skip counting by tens. So 100, 90, 80, 70, right? 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Okay, hard or easy? That was pretty easy. 195, okay, as soon as I see that 95, I know we're not counting by tens anymore. We're counting by fives, but I can still do that. I've skip counted by fives since first grade, so it's no problem. 195, the next number is going to be 90. And then I have 85, 80. Then I'm going to have 75. Remember when we did this and we talked about multiplying by fives? And every other number is a 0 at the end, and every other number is a 5 at the end. So 90, 85, 80, 75, 70, 65, 60, 55, 50. Not hard. Okay, now we're skip counting by a different number group. 40, 38. Okay, so I know I'm going down. Each one of these I'm going down. The difference between 38 and 40 is 2. And then I can look at the next number, 36. The difference between 36 and 38 is also 2. So then I realize, hey, they're skip counting by 2. So I'm going to go 40, 38, 36, 34, 32, 30, 28, 26, 24, 22, 20. Okay, all even numbers when you're skip counting by 2 when you start on an even number, even if you're going backwards. Now this one is a little bit harder to see, but it involves one of my favorite things, dividing. It says circle groups of 2 butterflies. How many butterflies in all? So basically I'm going to be skip counting by 2's. Ready? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And they made that really easy for me because they have them, each pair of butterflies is the same color. So I know there's 10 in all. But it says how many groups are there. So I'm going to count equal groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 groups of 2. Okay? This really applies to word problems. So you don't really have to worry about that right now. But I have something that you're going to enjoy on the next slide. Okay, so the last part of the lesson for today is you will be practicing by using Gigi for 20 minutes. So set the timer for 20 minutes for Gigi. But here's a really cool thing down here. It has videos that discuss division. So there's 2 more additional videos. And then this one right here that I want to show you is number blocks. So they're kind of fun. And I think they may have some terms that you recognize, like the wonderful array. So take a look and see what you think.
Welcome to my Divide and Drive go-kart track. How many carts do you need? What do you mean, how many? Isn't 1 enough? No. Only 3s can fit into my go-karts, so you'll need to divide into 3s before you can drive. Divide and drive. Take off 3 and we'll see what's left. 6 minus 3 equals 3. There you go. There are 2 3s in 6. So you need 2 carts. Off you go. Yikes! Lots of customers. 9. How many carts do you need? How many 3s in 9? Leave it to me. I'm good with 3s. Let's take a 3 off. 9 minus 3 equals 6. And again. 6 minus 3 equals 3. Hey! 1, 2, 3. The 3 threes. Yes.
Oh, can you please move faster? Some of us can't wait to go to a go-kart.
Hey! I'm going as fast as I can, you know. Subtracting 3s 1 by 1 is a slow business. I mean, if you know a faster way of dividing into 3s, you tell me. It's fun. Oh, I know. Juggling helps me think. Oh, it's a sign. A new sign. Maybe this can help me divide you up faster. Let's see. Look, can't you see? I'm keen to try something new. Instead of taking 3s away over and over, let's divide you into 3s all at once. 12 divided into 3s equals 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 3s in 12. Oh, I can divide anyone like this.
Anyone, you say? Why, I'm anyone. Give me again. 16.
No. You need to make a rectangle that's 3 blocks high, like 12 did.
Nope, not gonna happen. Got this one block remaining on the end.
I guess I can't divide you into threes without leaving some of your blocks behind. Sorry, 16, but you won't fit in my go-karts.
Oh, excuse me, coming through. Who wants to go on my go-kart track for four-wheel drivers?
Ooh, can I try?
Sorry, 3. Only 4s can drive my karts.
Oh, maybe I can.
16 divided into 4s equals 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 4s. Oh yeah. Literally unable to wait a moment longer. 19.
Divided into threes equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, yeah. 6 times 3 equals
18. Oh, what do you know? Division is the opposite of multiplication. Here I go again. 18.
divided into threes equals 6. 6 times 3 equals
18. I could do this all day, so I will. 18.
Some players are just born to show off. 6 times 3 equals
18.
divided into threes equals. Look at me!
Okay, so that's it for today. And there's my wonderful jumping smiley face. And so I'm just going to say bye. I hope you like learning how to divide. Tomorrow we'll start with lesson 1.